Hi, how are you this afternoon? Well, this evening, I'm coming to you here from Makaha on the beautiful island of Oahu in the beautiful paradise of Hawaii. And this is where I live, and I'm sitting out here with our gardens behind us, and I'm out on the porch, so you might hear some of the local flavor as it rolls by. It's actually a pretty quiet afternoon this afternoon, so that's why I decided to go ahead and do it out here. It was a very hot day today. It was over 90 degrees, and um, anyway, so it's finally cooled down. I can relax and come out here and share with you a little bit of what I want to do for you tonight. Um, I haven't streamed, I only streamed a few times, a little more than a year ago, and things just came about. I moved. I was visiting Hawaii, now I've moved here, and had a lot of big changes this last year. And now I'm getting set back up and getting ready to stream back with you and share some content and some ideas, and of course some readings, and just some new things. So tonight I've decided for my show tonight, I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing and let you see what it's like to get a new deck. I actually have 4 of them here that I haven't opened. I've been collecting and waiting for, I always believe there's a right time and a right energy to do each thing, and I'm kind of gearing towards a couple of these decks, but I wanted to bring them all out to you because over the next couple of months I will be unboxing all 4 of them. These of course are not my only 4 decks. I have probably at least another 10, 12 more in the house, so different people have different moods, and I let them choose what deck they want their readings from. And so recently, I've always been a little bit curious about palmistry, and this card deck came up. It was actually fairly inexpensive, and it was in an odd place that there really wasn't a place that, it's like, why is there a card deck here? This one must be mine. And so I went ahead and picked that up, but even though the plastic came off, the deck is kind of open. As you see, the strapping is still on, and I have not unstrapped it yet. So I'm going to wait to do that with you, my friends. Maybe this will be the one we do tonight. Maybe we'll see. Another one I have here is Sacred Power. I really believe in the energies that are around us, and that's what this had to do, was transforming the guidance of our life and the journey of our life and our energies around us, and bringing it in. It's also got a lot of healing energy from other practitioners, Reiki energy, Theta healing energy, kinesiology, and different things like that. And so that was one of the reasons why I bought this, because I am a Reiki healer. I'm a Reiki master. I have been for more than 10 years now, and I've been written up in what is that book? Today's Psychics. I was written up in 2016 as being one of the up-and-coming Reiki masters in America. This next deck I just got this week. It is fabulous. It is a gold foil deck, and I am very excited about it. I haven't had a chance to spend time with it, get quite the vibe of it yet, but that's one of my new ones. Just arrived a couple days ago. And then this Kyle Gray. I work with angels quite often, most of the time actually, and so I was time for just to bring in some new energy in my angel guides, and so I went ahead and picked up this deck. Now the difference is, this is a 78 card deck. This is a 44 card deck. This one here is only 36 card deck, which is actually kind of odd. And this one here is a 60 card deck. Well, it's jumping Jehovah's. Anyway, it's all decks are a little different, and so unboxing is really quite fun. So I don't know if you guys are thinking anything, but let me go ahead and take a minute and take a deep breath and decide which one I would like to share with you this evening. I feel this sacred power calling into me. So let's go ahead and move these ones off to the side. They may still be on the screen, they may not. It's okay either way. I just kind of want their energy off the table. Oh. All right. Now this piece of cloth that I put down, I've actually had this piece of cloth for, I'd like to say probably about 30 years. And it's just always just called to me. It's been a special piece. And I went ahead and put a backing on it and created it as my altar. So this is what I always use. I always bring out some goodness, the sound. I always bless my altar and myself. Breathe in the goodness of that sound. This, for me, these bells also bring in a bit of mother energy because they were actually my mother's. And they hung in her room, and she rang them when she needed a little change of energy. She rang them for herself. And so I share them too in that same way. Often when I do Reiki, I will go ahead and do this all along the body, up and down, to change the energy and the vibration around the body. Let's see if I can get in this. I don't know. I might not be able to. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. Always fun to get something new, especially a new deck. After doing this for more than 12 years, this is really fun to open and do. Oh, nice box. Oh, the way it opens is lovely. Oh, and it's got a little, it closes, it's got a little magnet closure. Ooh, wow. I can really feel the energy of this deck. It's just amazing. I got chills all over. Oh, what a gift. Oh, a little card in here. Sticks to it. That's weird. Rockpool Oracle reading cards. App available. I guess you can also do it off your phone. Yeah, I'm not one to do that. If I'm going to do that, I just read somebody's energy out in the open. Wow, this is much nicer box than I was expecting. Beautiful book. Tells you all about the cards, and the color pictures are nice size. Nice colors. Well, let's get into these. So this is called Sacred Power Reading Cards, and this deck is by Anna Stark. Let's see what we've got. Where's the plastic? Where do you open these? Undo them right here in the back, if you can, if I'm capable. Here we go. Pop that off, set that to the side. Oh, they have a lovely feel. Oh, they're so slick. That's nice. I don't want to shuffle them yet. Normally I would just go ahead and start shuffling, but I want to go through the cards with you and share them. Have a little cat romp going on in the house. We have, yeah, we're down a few cats. Thank goodness. We had a little too many for a little while. We had 11. One of our cats had litter. We have 2 of those left, but the 4 main ones in the house are romping around and playing right now. I guess they're feeling good after they ate their dinner. So, but they create a little noise. Well, these cards are just beautiful. They really are. They have the sacred geometry on the back. They just are filled with sacred geometry. Let me open this up. All right. All right. Make sure I don't mess up. In case there's others in here. So this on here is what is referred to as the flower of life pattern. I was going to say seed life, but that's too. This is a completed flower of life pattern, and it does leave an indelible mark on many, many civilizations throughout our world. And the energy of these is just very vibrant. I feel that we really do receive our messages through vibrations when we get a knowing. Some people, the knowing reaches different people different ways. We don't always receive the information the same way. Some of us receive it through actual physical vibration that they feel. When I do Reiki, I actually have a physical vibration that comes out of the palms of my hands that actually stings my hands. It's like little lightning bolts coming out of my hands when I do Reiki. Sometimes the patient feels it, sometimes they don't. I actually, when giving an attunement, sometimes the student that I'm working with will feel that spark of vibration, because it is just really is that powerful once you tap into that energy. And so each of the sacred symbols have different energies, and this one is called Flower of Life, and it comes from the change from the egg of life and the Vesica Pisces. Well, comes the Vesica Pisces, the seed, the egg of life, and then you develop the seed of life, and now this is the flower of life. So it goes on in a creation. Of course, we can go over that. I always do a review before I come on, so sometimes I babble away, but may get some information a little bit wrong, and I don't like to do that. So if I'm going to share information with you, I want it to be right. So that's why I kind of pulled up a little bit of information here to share with you. So overall, though, that's what the sacred power is a vibrational creation. And so that was one reason why I did choose this, was because it was so vibrant. And what I will share with you right away, without having gone through them yet, is that the pictures are also very vibrant. And like I said, this is a smaller deck. There's only 36 cards in this deck. And so the first one that we're looking at here is called Abundance. And it is, beautiful hands coming out of the sky, out of heaven, or, out of the beyond, however you feel or make your reference towards that. I don't want to assign it a name or anything that that you don't resonate with. So you assign it the name, but it's coming out of the skies, the design of heaven above, and bringing in the sunshine and bringing abundance to us, as well as the cornucopia here at the bottom, beautiful mountains, golden grasses blowing in the wind, probably some type of straw or something. So that's the abundance card. And it's very, very beautiful. The backs, of course, are all the same. Next, we have affirmations. And part of what I see in affirmations is actually just a centering, and centering what affirmations you want. And different affirmations go in different places. So if you really have passion about something, like you're setting an affirmation about your family and that you want them to be cared for and taken care of and loved, you set that in that green space. That green space is your heart space. And that centers it, the deepest place for our deepest love. And this is more than a love of passion. This is much deeper. It goes much, much deeper than that. It's the same type of deepness that you share in that spiritual love, and that love for that you tap in, that sacred space in your heart, the deepness that you tap into so that you love yourself. Loving yourself deeply is most important, because beyond that, then you can be open to loving anyone else. It's hard to trust someone that doesn't love themselves, so why would you trust yourself? So learn to love yourselves. It's really very important, and feels very good. Feels very good to do that. If you want affirmations about, maybe as you're going to do a speech somewhere or talk somewhere, then you focus on the chakra around the throat, the blue, the light blue. If you want something very, very basal and very mothering and kindness, you go to the red or the orange chakra, which is called the base or the dantian, and you set your affirmation in there. When I am asking for something, say that's lost, or something that seeking answers for, mostly lost. When some things are lost, I actually, when I'm searching for them and I feel myself getting closer to them, I actually find that I feel a draw in the womb space. My mothering instincts, fight instincts for people. When I'm asking a question of should I or shouldn't I actually hear more of the answers in my third eye, in the violet between my ears and in my head. I'll actually sometimes hear words in my ears. So, when you're asking for something, wait and resonate with you. Kind of look towards what you're asking it for. Is it to fill your heart? Is it to feel communication? Is it to feel a sense of connectedness? Is it to feel a sense of mothering, whether you're mothering yourself or mothering others? And feel that affirmation of what you're asking for. Your answers will come in those areas. So that's affirmations. The next one is angel assistance. And what I will tell you about this is they cannot assist you if you do not ask. You have to ask for their assistance. It's called free will. Sometimes we want to do things on our own, challenge ourselves, challenge our humanness, challenge our ego to see if our ego will get us where we need to be. But if we need real assistance and we feel that we want a team or warriors to help us get to where we want to be, to our next destination, our goal, our desire, our affirmation, then we have to ask our angels. And so this card, when you pull it, is telling you to ask your angels for assistance. Animal kingdom. So each of us does have a totem. Some of us have more than one that you relate with different animals. So with that is telling you to call in your animal totem to work with your animal. I almost lost one back here. Next one is boundaries. Sometimes we need to learn to set boundaries. So when this card comes up, that's what it is telling you. It also sometimes is talking about other people that are pushing beyond your own comfortable boundaries. And that is another way telling us that we have to reset our own boundaries. So that's what boundaries is about. The card change. Here, excuse me, I have to grab a little sip of something here. My throat's dry. Like I said, it was over 90 degrees here today, and I'm a little dehydrated probably. All right. This next card we got here is Change. Very beautiful card. Changes from the greenery till the fall, the autumn. It also has a lot of energy around this young man walking along. He's walking along his path and looking for change. And I have to tell you, if you're really looking for true change, you cannot take the path that everyone else is taking. You cannot follow along. You have to take what they say is the path less traveled, or you have to create your own path. If you want real and true change, you must create your own path to move along. Next one we have is communication, which is always important. Like I said, that comes from your throat chakra and is shown to us in the color of light blue. It also is associated with the Archangel Gabriel, which is the angel of communication. They say that Archangel Gabriel is the one who came to Mary to tell her that she was going to have a baby. And I believe Archangel Gabriel came to Moses. Anyway, someone else in the Bible he did come to and was given information. So that's why they say Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communication. Community. Sometimes we need our community. Sometimes we need to move forward into it. And in that community, we create challenges for each other. And we also create a bringing together of energies for normally for better good. And so community is always important. Some people, we go to community to be able to give to others. If we're never around in community, it's really hard for us to give our gifts. And in order us to really find that center, the thing that we most desire, that nirvana, is really by giving to others. And if you're never out in your community and you're not giving to others and you're holding it back for yourself, you don't feel that. So it's always good to get out in your community so that you can feel the gifts that you've been giving. Compassion. Sometimes this is compassion for oneself. Sometimes it means we're not being compassionate enough for the people that are around us, and maybe they may be going through something that they need to. So we have to have compassion for each other. It's okay. We'll just move it off. All right. Thanks for letting me know. All right. I have friends here that are also watching my show, so one of them noticed something on my screen that she didn't like. So that's okay. That's okay. Just learning how to get this done and just figuring this out. It's a new setup, new area. I'm here in Hawaii. I guess I should have shown you my area before I got too far on this. Bring this down. Yeah, let's see. How do I get past me? It's getting dark out. I can't. Well, what I can show you is the bananas that we took off the banana tree today. And it's just sitting on a chair here, drying. It gets quite a bit of sap out of it. And so it's got to sit outside for a little while. Uh-oh, I'm messing up my setup here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See if I can get this back. Is that back where I was? Who knows? There. Nope, nope, nope. That way, that way, that way. This was hard to do in the first place. I should have never moved it. Oh, there I am. All right, that's a little more centered. And that's all good. Okay. Back to our deck. Here in Hawaii. Beautiful place. I'm blessed to have gotten to move here. I thank my family for that. My son, most of all, and his wife for also the blessing that the rooms opened up right at the right time when I was looking to move. So everything was meant to be, and here I am. So divas. This card says divas. So I've never had a card that said Divas. I'd venture to say, in my intuition, have two meanings, depend on, everything has two meanings. Everything has sometimes more than two meanings, but definitely all these cards have two meanings. That's why, they say reversed or not. Instead, I usually just share both meanings and allow the person to know which one resonates with them. So having a card that says Divas either tells me that you yourself as a person are being a diva, or there's somebody around you that's really being a diva and taking your good energy away from you. And so, always we want to keep our energy amongst ourselves. Divas have a tendency to be greedy and take rather than share. And so we watch out for them. So it also may just say that there's people in your life that you need to watch out for. That's what I would say that card means. Divine consciousness. Well, that definitely resonates with me, because that's what I do. I try to stay conscious to the divine wisdom that is inside of me and all around me in a vibrational energy. The things that come to us from others, sometimes that divine consciousness is recognizing things that are not good for ourselves. Sometimes that divine consciousness is recognizing what is the greatest thing for us. And because it's divine, it helps us move away to it, move, it helps us move towards it, or if it is something else, it will help you move away from it. So being conscious about whether things are divine for you, and things that are divine for you may not be divine for others. So do not judge it on what others want, feel, or need. Energy balance. Of course, this is the chakras. And in that, it tells me that overall, you need to bring yourself to a place of center, focusing each of the chakras. The chakra is, we see them in this picture that they are stable. But the vibrant energy around them, one of the reasons that is because they're actually spinning. And each one of the chakras spins at a different revolution. They do not spin at the same revolution. They're like keys, they're like wheels in a cog. You have larger, or a clock. You have larger ones and smaller ones that make the time tick by, or the system run. And by having, if you have one broken tooth in the cog, then all the other cogs on the wheel do not spin properly. And so by keeping yourself in balance, it's keeping all of everything in good health and good balance. Sometimes we do this. One of the things that I teach in a way to do this is to do a rainbow meditation. And someday on this channel, I promise you, I will do a rainbow meditation with you. And you'll see how simple it is to bring yourself into balance and focus. Exploration. So that's telling me that you need to get out and get beyond the things that you've been doing. You need to explore the world around you, or you need to explore beyond the world around you. If you've been traveling and exploring and you're not finding yourself, that means you need to sit quietly and explore inside of you. So it's not what you're looking for. Remember, is not always outside of you. It is not always something that you can go out and get. Sometimes it is something that you need to sit quietly and acquire. But all things come to you in due time if you're open to receiving them. Freedom. The yin and the yang. Both directions. Finding perfect balance. When we find perfect balance, it seems to put us in a place where we feel free. Because by being in a good balance allows us to make our best choices. It allows us to be where we need to be at each time we need to be. Sometimes we need to be soft. Sometimes we need to be hard. Sometimes we need to be direct. And sometimes we just need to listen and be in silence. So finding that freedom within ourselves to allow ourselves to be that person is very, very important. With this card, I say sometimes it's finding your freedom. Sometimes this card may mean to others allowing someone else to have their freedom. Depends on what you've been hanging on to. Our next card is illusions. We are often find ourselves in illusion. And like I always say, and I've said a couple times already this evening, is that everything is in a balance. A lot of things are back and forth. Yin and yang. We live in a world that goes back and forth, light and dark, yin and yang. And sometimes it is an illusion. And sometimes we fib to ourselves, and when we do that, it is then becomes a delusion. And so this card itself, even though it is titled illusion, if you were to read the reverse of that, it is a delusion. And so sometimes you will find that you are delusional about things. You really believe something, but it really is not the fact. And by pulling this card, that means you need to really look at something and see what the truth is. Sometimes we're hiding something from ourselves. Sometimes we're eluded into believing something. So that is often what this card means when it comes up. Intimacy. This card tells me that something intimate was coming into your life. Intimacy, although this is between a man and a woman in this card itself, although the man does look like he may not be human. She looks like she's human, but he may not be human. And so sometimes the intimacy is not in the man-woman relationship, but the energy in which you're sharing around it. And as we well know, intimacy I really shouldn't even refer to a man-woman situation, because intimacy is really between two partners, and that is up to them what they choose. And so this card is showing that intimacy. Intuition. The mind's eye is coming forward in this. It is also flying with the angels. It is seeing the sacred energy of Metatron. Metatron's looks like the beginning of Metatron's cube back in here, as well as the wings over it. The flames of energy coming at you in several different manners. This is a beautiful card. It means that you should look into your own intuition when you ask the deepest questions, and trust your intuition. It is very important to trust our own intuition and not question ourselves, because that intuition is from the sacred space in your heart and from the divine. And that divinity is in you. Lightning. Ooh, that means something's sparking, something's coming up. The energy is lightning fast. Things could be happening very, very quickly. It could mean that, that lightning speed. It could also be the energy of the lightning really given a powerful zap. So this could mean many things. I think I would have to, of course, before I do, other than a couple of little fun readings with this deck, I will also peruse the book and get a little more in depth as to what the author felt when she created this card, these decks. Manifest. Now we have the wizard who is manifesting great things. This is often manifesting magic, creating magic within ourselves, making things happen for ourselves. No one makes anything happen but you. You have to manifest. You have to be your own manifester. You have to be your own creator in this world. When this card comes up, that's what it's telling me, is that you need to create and manifest. Medicine. Medicine, this can mean several things. It may mean that you need to, that you have something going on and you need some medicine. It can also mean that you are a healer, and that medicine, the idea of being medicinal towards others comes easy to you. Healing can be done in many ways. I am a Reiki healer and master, and that's healed with energy that comes from the divine through your heart space, down your arms, out your hands. it also just completely vibrates all the way around you. It is a vibration. And sorry, I have to get another drink here. And in that medicine can also come in the form of eating better for yourself. Here I see a dove, which often is a spiritual symbol of the divine coming through, energy of the outer worlds coming in, and Metatron's flower of life, bringing in the energy of healing. Personal power. Now this is teaching us that we have the power is within us, and that we need to pull it out and use it for our own good. It's ours. No one can give it to us. We own it already. We just have to utilize it. Protection. This is protected. This is a beautiful knight, bringing us protection, to strong, fight for us, fight for your right, and make sure that you continue to protect yourself. Purification. Sometimes this means that you need to do a cleansing around your house. Maybe it means that you need to do a detox. But when this one comes in, that means to purify sometimes your own thoughts. Maybe you've been doing a lot of dirty thinking about certain things. Maybe you're complaining too much, and purifying your thoughts will create a better life for yourself and everyone around you too. Rainbow dragon. Rainbow dragon. Bringing in the colors of the rainbow is just fabulous. I think that we're going to have to stop here. We're going to have to see what the author wanted with Rainbow Dragon. I'll just read a little bit here. Floating with the golden ascension rays, the Rainbow Dragon is making you aware of what is required for you to act in truth and honesty. Bringing the vibration from the golden ray, the Rainbow Dragon opens up connection to your higher self, the central sun, the angelic, the ascended masters, and while centering you in the presence. Through the dragon's movements, the frequency and vibration of the rainbow spectrum dissipates negative blocks and karmic debris. So it breaks up any debris that isn't serving you, and helps get rid of any old energies and bring in better and good energies around you. Reflection is often that we need to reflect in on ourselves and look at what we're doing, and find out who we really are and see who we really are. This one is about rest, finding a place of solace. And I find, well, I live in paradise, so I find solace around me all the time. The sun, the water, the trees, the vegetation. The people here live with so much aloha. It's a beautiful place to be. So finding rest is very important. And with that goes along retreat. Sometimes we find rest in a place that we find retreat, and other times we need to go to a retreat or find a place to escape to for that retreat to find our place of rest. This card here reminds me of a meditation that I do called the Meadow. And it is my personal retreat space when I feel like I'm overwhelmed and need to get to my own space, but maybe I'm not in a place that I can find, that I can be alone, or that I can escape and retreat to. And I just shut my eyes and I do or I sit somewhere beautiful and I do my own meditation called the Meadow. And it is a place that I go, and that's another thing. Motorcycles rolling by is a regular thing. Welcome to Makaha. This is where, that's daily life around here. I'm really surprised that there hasn't been some boom boxes and some music going down the street. Usually by this time on a Sunday night, you're hearing music all over the neighborhood. So I'm really quite surprised tonight that we don't have that. But anyway, those are our motorcycles. They go by several times a day. So anyway, finding that retreat, I will be doing that uh, uh, meadow meditation with you all sometime throughout my streaming. You'll have to watch for it. But it's a wonderful meditation. It actually gives you your own sacred space to go and escape to. Sacred wisdom. Again, here we have the flower of life bringing us to focus. I told you that this was a very powerful deck, and a lot of this has to do, this deck I was looking for the guidance of bringing in more of the passion of the sacredness, of the energies and vibrations of the sacredness, and that's why I chose this deck, because I feel those are most important. This deck is really a reading that you would utilize this deck for someone that is, I would say, is already experienced in working with spirit and doing different things for themselves, because this type of deck is going to give them a lot more information than maybe some of the other decks. Like I have one called Sacred Goddesses, and it was it was one of my beginner deck. It was my first deck. It was gifted to me, and it gives a lot of pure, clean, clear messages, but they're not real deep. And this deck here, I believe, is I'm expecting it to give some deeper messages for people that I read for, because I actually read for quite a few people. In fact, most of the people I've read for in the last 6 months, I would say, are already, they do readings themselves or of some type. I met a beautiful, beautiful soul a few weeks ago. She does, I'm not going to say any names, she does crystal facet readings. And I met another beautiful soul, and she does a type of sacred Hawaiian reading. And she's a local Hawaiian. And so those are the type of people that I often read for. So I look forward to this deck giving me a little deeper meaning to the sacredness and the spiritual things that they're working with, and how that they can utilize those which will come through in their readings. Self-love. I mentioned this a little while ago. You need to love yourself most and deepest. And self-love is very, very important. So when this card comes up, excuse me, that's what it is saying, that's what it's telling us, is that you need to love yourself deeper. Sometimes we spend too much time loving others, grandchildren, our own children, our parents, and we neglect ourselves. So come with self-love is also self-care. And we must take care of ourselves. It's like putting on your life jacket or your oxygen mask before you help someone else on the plane. Hopefully it's not going down. Soul journey. When soul journey comes up, that tells me that you need to seek something deep within you, that you have, that there's answers that are waiting for you that cannot be pulled out of a card reading. Because you do realize that even though somebody gives you a card reading and you think you're getting everything, actually you need to take the information from the card reading and you need to go and meditate on it, sit quietly, find a sacred space, and you need to ask, okay, I was given those messages, tell me more about what they mean. When you do that, you get more out of the card reading than any reader here on earth can give you. And they can give you a lot. But sitting quietly after the reading with the messages you were given, and then asking your own guides and guardians, your own family members that came through the reading, possibly, is what this is saying, is to delve deeper into your soul and find out what those answers and messages were meant to be. Sound. When it comes to sound, that tells me that you need to find an area of vibration. Sound brings us messages. It vibrates us in, usually raises your vibration to an area of love or above. There is a scale by, I think it's Christina Sheldon, that does a scale of love or above. Below love is anger, frustration, hate. The number 5 is, it's a scale of like 1 to 10. Love being a 5. Love is not the highest. There's faith, there's hope, there's joy, there's many other levels of happiness that are actually above love. Um, so sound vibrations can bring us to that. Also, I do a lot of sound vibrations when I'm looking to find my focus. It really does help me, especially if I do a sound meditation that is maybe some type of toning, solfeggio tones, um, crystal bowls. Uh, so when I see this, it tells me that you need to find yourself a place or an area to sit down and listen, sit in vibration and bring you back to those vibrations of sound. And those will bring you into a greater focus. Source. This is actually asking Source. This is actually you needing to go to your angels and finding the source of what it is that your messages need to be. It is also finding the source of your own discomfort. Sometimes going to the center and asking our angels to guide us will also bring us to that source. So the good and bad of that is going to actually reaching out to your angels and beyond the angels to the divine spirit within you, the most divine sacred space within you, whether you want to call it your God space, sacred space for your heart, space that is enlightened, your center of light, referred to as many things. That this card is telling me that you need to go that deep in order to get your answers, and that your guidance and loved ones will be there. Maybe even trying to transcend in a meditation and taking a trip to heaven. And transformation, the phoenix, changing yourself. Change has to come from within. So sometimes our change comes from being so low and so dropped down that we turn into flames, and we return as a flaming phoenix back to recreate our own lives. And that's what transformation is about. Tree of life, for me, the tree of life means that you need to ground yourself. Sometimes that means sending your roots 5 miles deep, 5 miles down, 5 miles out, and grounding yourself in that and holding that earth. And then breathing that earth in, bringing it up into your heart space, and holding it there. And from there, reaching it back out, sending it up to the sky with the branches, and reaching out to the heavens with that. That is the tree of life to me. It is an energy in which you absorb both heaven and earth, grounding and beyond, and bring them both back into your heart space. To me, that is my sacred grounding when I do that. Next card is truth. Sometimes this is, as you see, taking off a mask and actually showing your true self. So it can be showing your true self. It can be that you need to be truthful with others. And sometimes in reverse, it can mean that someone else is not telling you the truth. Or they are telling you the truth and you're not listening. So it has to do with truth in some way. There is many ways. Sometimes that is guided to us through other cards that we pull. But the basis of this message is about truth. And here we have a beautiful mother and her baby. Her hair is even engulfing and surrounding them and holding them in unconditional love. And unconditional love is something that we need to not only give ourselves, our children, we need to give unconditional love to everyone in the world. It is not our place as a human to set conditions. Now, it is part of our ego. Our ego is not always a bad thing. Our ego is there to help protect us. If we didn't have ego, we wouldn't have ran away from saber-toothed tigers. We would have gone, hi, kitty, kitty. But we do. We did. And we will continue to watch out for ourselves. That's part of unconditional love. But not being able to love others unconditionally is our ego that gets in the way of that. Somehow telling us we're better, we're different, we're more, we're less. Because not always does our ego tell us that we're greater. Some of people's egos are try to fault them for things, and we are all equal, and that's why we need to love each other unconditionally. And that unconditional love, of course, when it comes up in a reading, can be about a certain thing. So that's however it presents itself in a reading. And that actually, I flipped these cards behind, so actually I should have gone and put these down this way. So our last card was unconditional love. So with that, we have now seen all the cards, and one of the things that you do when you get a new deck and consecrate it is you actually touch each and every card. So by going through this deck with you, I have touched each and every card. So let's go ahead and do a general reading with this deck of cards and see what kind of messages it gives us. It's going to take me a bit because it's never been shuffled. As you saw, it was a brand new deck. Let me go ahead and mix it up. These cards are a little bit big for my hands. I don't have big hands, so I've actually recently decided that when I pick up cards, I'm going to pick up cards that are smaller. I had already picked up this deck, and this deck just really called to me. So I'll probably still be getting decks that are too big for my hands, but that's okay. I work with them. I do try to keep all my cards going one direction. I don't believe in an upside down, whether it's reversed or not reversed. And for the simple fact that is that the messages come to us, and it doesn't matter if the card's reversed or not. When you're giving a reading for someone, the other cards help constitute what that card means, as well as how it's interpreted by the person you're reading for. They sometimes get a card and know exactly what it means right away, whether it's upside down or not. So look at it that way, that the cards that come through have meaning to us, and you don't look at them like they're all up. You just look at them like, oh, you want to give me a message about truth. Yeah, I've had some problems with truth with someone, problems with honesty about someone. And so the other cards support whatever message that truth card is telling you. So let's go ahead and pull for 3 cards and see what they want to give us today. Energy of balance. So back to this. So this was one that I actually spent a lot of time on. And that energy of balance is also doing that rainbow meditation to finding the balance of each one. Like I said, each of the chakras spin at different rates. And so what this is telling me as a collective today, that there's a few of us here in our group that maybe need to find better balance within our lives and focus on that. Some of us that do the spiritual work and do believe in the chakras will probably, I know I will, I'll get done and I will do a meditation to help balance my chakras and to pull them into a better order. I guess I didn't do enough of that today before I came on the show. And I will say, trying to, set up my equipment and stuff kind of probably set me a little off balance. So I could see where that really would matter for me. And I hope that has meaning for you too. The next card we're going to pull. Let's see what they want to tell us. These plumerias I have on my altar here sure do smell beautiful. They're just gorgeous. They came off of one of our trees. We have several plumeria trees. Next one is a soul journey. Sometimes you just, when you pull a card, sometimes you just want to sit with it and see what it really wants to tell you. What this is telling me is, since I'm just starting out, that, you know, I did this a year ago or so and didn't really follow through. This is telling me that I need to find that this is part of my soul journey, and that this is something I am meant to do, is to share some of this information with you, whether it be opening a new deck, helping others understand the meanings behind these decks, behind the cards, where it's supposed to, what it's meant to pull out, how to deliver those messages as part of my soul journey. I've always known that I've been a bit of a teacher. I love to teach, share information with others. To me, it's not being a teacher, it's just sharing the world with others. If you don't, you only know what you see, you only know what you hear, you only know what you understand. And if you don't learn, you don't see, hear, and understand the things around you, then it's hard to know much. So you only see what you know. And so by knowing things and having shared information, and by giving information, I get to learn from others. It's always a mutual back and forth, even in teaching these decks. And even what I'm learning here today, even though I'm here with you on the internet, I'm learning things about my cards and myself by giving this. And so it's all a soul journey. And most people are looking for their soul journey to bring them through to enlightenment. Some people are looking for that soul journey to figure out what their life purpose is. But I will tell you, that place of enlightenment is not a place that you always sit in all the time. Unless you're Buddha and can take 3 years to sit under a tree and do nothing else and find enlightenment each and every day under that tree. Most of us don't have that luxury to do that. And so enlightenment on that soul journey is something that we find and we sit in, and we accept the knowledge of that enlightenment for that time. And then we come back down our mountain and live amongst each other and try to hold as much of that enlightenment in ourselves. I know, going on retreats, you always come back. You always come back in a great state of enlightenment, but that enlightenment does wane over time. And so finding meditation and other space to work on that soul journey. It's not one trip, it's not one event, it's not one retreat. It is actually, it's a journey. And within it comes times of enlightenment. And for our last card tonight, let's see what we've got. That one. Divine Consciousness. Well, to tell you the truth, out of all the cards in this deck, they really have picked some very soulful, very spiritual message here. And that divine consciousness, really spreading out your arms and accepting it and allowing yourself to open up to it, allowing it to come into you, allowing it to be a part of you. Because once you reach that divine consciousness, you want to hang on to it. Although, like I said, even with the soul journey of finding those spaces of enlightenment, it's hard to stay in that space. Same with the divine consciousness, which is that moment of nirvana, that moment of that aha moment of enlightenment, and knowing that you're in it. A good best way to liken it is if you've ever been a jogger or runner, where you get into a runner's high. It doesn't have to be running. You can do it with walking. It's about keeping it at the same pace and changing the energy around yourself that drops you into that enlightened space. That's what enlightenment feels like. Is where you get to when you have that runner's high, because you're definitely on a conscious plane of being somewhere else, and that is heading towards divine consciousness. The more that you can get there, the more that you can find. That's why people become addicted to exercise, because it does bring them to that place, that sacred place in their hearts, even though they're doing something physical. It is very, it becomes very spiritual for them to be able to work out, exercise, and reach that nirvana. Me and a friend at work had that conversation the other day. She didn't want to go work out, but she did, and by the time she was there, she found a room that was even though the gym was very crowded, she found one of the workout rooms where there was nobody in there, was able to get to a place that she just was so happy. She was really glad she went. And that's a lot like divine consciousness. When we are reaching for the sky, make sure that we open up our mind, our heart, and our soul, and we are open to receive any messages from the divine, and being able to accept those, whether we like what we're told or not. Being able to accept the messages that we're given is what helps us come closer to our own divine consciousness. Whether it is outside of us, we bring that back in, and to be really conscious, we seed it in the sacred space in our hearts. And that's the reading that I have for you tonight, and I'm really happy that you joined me. And so this was the unboxing of Sacred Power Reading Cards by Anna Stark. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I look forward to the next show. Probably try to get one out about every Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, and have a great night.